Hello everyone, I'm back with a new video tutorial. Today's tutorial, we will be building a cannon shooting system in Unity. We'll cover both single player and multiplayer mechanics using Unity's physics system and Unity netcode. By the end of this tutorial, you'll understand how to create a charging cannon, fire projectiles, and handle damage in multiplayer. So let's start. Lastly, we end up with the both movement. Now we're focusing on cannon and projectile. Now let's create a script for the cannon. So right click here in project, create a C# script, name it cannon. Here, this script allows a player to charge a shot and fire a projectile based on how long they hold the mouse button. Here's how it works. Here we have the public transfer fire point. This variable stores the position where the projectile will be instantiated. Next one, we have here the public game object bullet prefab. This holds the projectile prefab that will be spawned. Here for the float min force and float max force. These define the range of force applied to the projectile. And for the float charge time, this determines how long the player can charge the shot. Now, I'm going to the update methods that handles user input. This line of code input that get mouse button down 0, start charging, starts charging when the left mouse button is pressed, and get mouse button up 0, stop charging, fires the cannon when the button is released. And if it's charging, update charge, updates the charge level while the button is held. Now for the next method, which is start charging, this indicates the charging process has started. In the current charge, this resets the charge to 0. For the stop charging method, if it's charging, it calls firegun only if charging was active. And if it's charging is equals to false, it stops charging. For the update charge method, the current charge plus equal time delta. This increase charge over time relative to charge time. And for the current charge is equals to matf.clam01, it ensures that charge stays between 0 and 1. And for the fire gun method, this is once and launches the projectile. The game object bullet, this instantiates the projectile. And for the bullet that get component, this applies to force to propel the bullet. And once you have created this script, you save it and go for your boot repub and add it to your component, the Canon script. And here, right click your prefab bolt, the hierarchy, then create empty, then name it firepoint or anything that you want. This will be the one where the bullets will shoot. And once you create it and position it in the correct position, you must drag it here in the inspector under the Canon script firepoint. And next one is to we're creating a bullet. Here I create a 3D object sphere and I simply created a prefab. Once you created it, or if you have a own prefab for cannonball, you can use it. And once you have it, you will add rigid body. Then simply add your cannonball prefab here under the here in the bullet prefab. So let's try if it is the cannon is working. Yeah, it's working. Now as you can see, the bullet, when I hold, the force of the bullet will change. This one is I'm just clicking it, and when I hold it, it changed the force. We can also change the minimum force, the max force, and charge time here in the inspector. Now we're going for the next script, which is the projectile. Simply create and C# script and name it projectile. For the projectile script, it manages projectile behavior when it collides with objects.
Projectile class handles the bullet's behavior. The rigid body component, this allows the physics interaction. Now we're going to the pivot void start method. This ensures that the rigid body is assigned.
Here in the on collision enter, this handles the collision logic. If other than game object compared tag player, if the projectile hits a player, the player destroyed. The destroyed game object, this projectile itself is destroyed after impact. Now, once you have this line of codes, you'll save it and in your cannonball prefab, add the projectile script in the component and also add your prefab cannonball here in inspector RB. And once you have it, you can create your enemy. I have my enemy here. And here in the tag, create add tag, then press this, then add a name that is player, then add it here in your enemy. So let's try if if the projectile is working. Yeah, it's working. You see, after the bullet hit the enemy boat, it destroys the enemy's boat. Now we're done for the simple cannon and projectile. Now we're going to the multiplayer. Here I have the multiplayer, the cannon script. This script allows player to fire from two different fire points, left and right. In the namespace, we will using Unity.NET code because we need this for the multiplayer.
For the gun class, this represents the gun in the game. The network behavior, this extends mono behavior but adds networking capabilities like syncing actions across clients. Now we're going to the fire points. The purpose of these are the spawn points where bullets will be instantiated. The transform variables, they store positions for the left and right bullet spawns. And the header fire points, this is a Unity Inspector label to organize settings in the UI. Next, for the projectile settings, the bullet prefab is this stores the bullet game object, which is the projectile fired by the gun. The float, min force, and max force. This controls the minimum and maximum speed of the bullet. And the float charge time. This is the time needed to fully charge a shot for charging mechanics. Now for charge state variables, we have a bull is charging left and is charging right. This tracks if the left or right gun is currently charging. And for the float current charge left and float current charge right, this stores how much charge has been built up for each side. This allows the gun to have a charging mechanic where the longer the boot button is held, the stronger the shot. And we have here the trajectory visualization, which is the private dictionary transform line renderer. This maps fire points transform to a line renderer for each shot. The purpose of this is likely used to preview the bullet's trajectory before firing, similar to games like Angry Birds or aim indicators in FPS games.
Here the key multiplayer changes include this in the void start, the if its owner returned, this ensures only the player who owns the cannon can control it. It uses server RPC methods to sync projectile spawning across the network. The start charging left and start charging right methods initiate charging for the respective fire points. If is charging left is equals to true, when charge left is equals to 0f, it resets and starts charging for the left cannon. And if charging right is equals to true, and current charge right is equals to 0, it resets and starts charging for the right cannon. Now we're going to the stop charging left and stop charging right methods. This handles the firing. Use the fire gun RPC. This calls the server to fire from the left cannon. And fire gun server RPC right fire position point. It calls the server to fire from the right cannon. To disable the trajectory preview line, we have the trajectory lines fire point that enabled is equals to 4. Now, next for the update trajectory method, it visualizes the projectile expected path using line renderer. This calculates the positions based on projectile physics, updates the line renderer to display the predicted path. Now for the firing in multiplayer, the fire gun server RPC methods runs on the server to ensure all clients see the projectile spawn correctly. It instantiates the bullet and applies force. And inside of it, there's a gun object bullet. This spawns the projectile. And the bullet that get component, it applies force to the projectile. And the other one is the bullet that get component network object. This ensures the projectile is networked and visible to all players. Now, we're done for the multiplayer cannon script. We're going next for the projectile cannon script. The projectile script in multiplayer assigns a shooter ID to track who fired the shot. This set the shooter Yulong ID method stores the player ID who fired the projectile. The on collision enter, these methods handles hit detection. If not is server return, this ensures only the server processes collision. The player health, we added here the player health. Player health checks if the target has a player health script. The player health that take damage server RPC, this calls the server method to apply damage. We have here the last event, the debugs. And next one is we have a despawn projectile server RPC method. This removes the projectile from the network. Under it, we have the if statement. If network object not equal to null and network object is spawned, this checks if the projectile is active before despawning. Now we're done for the scripts of the multiplayer, and now we will try it. Now, I will show you how the cannon and projectile works in multiplayer. Right? As you can see, we have here the boat and the other one. See, we can see our enemy. In here, we have a player health. Each player has a 100 health, and the damage of each cannonball is 20. So here you need to hit the enemy 5 cannonballs before it dies. As you can see, the other player can see the cannonball. See, the players dies, and the players dies when the cannonball hits it. That's it for this tutorial. We built a cannon system that works in both single player and multiplayer. We covered charging mechanics, projectile physics, collision handling, and net code integration. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe for more UNV tutorials. Thanks for watching and happy coding!